Hi everyone, this is Erin from Sandpaper Road, and this is video number 2 in our series Use What You Have, Scrapbooking Edition. And today we're looking at ways to make use of your old letter sticker sheets, especially the ones with a bunch of missing letters. If you're sorting through your craft stuff, don't throw these out just yet, because I have a trick up my sleeve to help you make some great scrapbook pages using sticker sheets you already have. So stick around. Hey scrapbookers, if you have been scrapbooking for a while, like I have, it is no doubt that you have some of these letter stickers, and they were super popular when it first started, when the craft first started, and then we just have different alternatives for lettering now that we didn't have before. And especially when you are trying to make a specific album or you spell something out, then you're left with all these seemingly random letters, and it can seem like you just don't know what to do with these papers, but we're too much of hoarders to throw stuff away. So I'm going to share this tip with you, and let's get started right away. I have I want to show you two ways to do this. So I have a plain piece of paper. I'm actually going to make 2 pages in this video. I have a plain piece of white smooth cardstock, and what this is 12 by 12 inches. And then I have one piece of double-sided paper. It doesn't have to be double-sided. I just always choose double-sided pattern paper. It's nice and strong. This is from Dare to be Artsy, and this is from their Fields of Joy collection, and this is Joyful Bloom. This piece is Joyful Bloom. I really like Dare to be Artsy paper, and that's one side. Here's the other. But look at this. This is the coolest part. Is you're going to cut this off because this makes it a little bit more than 12 by 12. But when you cut that strip off, it doesn't go to waste because they include a separate pattern, which is different than the other two. I like that. I think that's a nice touch. So I don't know which side I'm going to use yet as my base. As a matter of fact, let's do that first. So let's put this one off to the side here. We'll do that in a few minutes. And I've got some other cardstock, and the other thing I wanted to mention that's going to make your projects pop, and maybe you're a nice clean scrapbooker, so you may not want to take a hold of this step, but if you do not have gesso in your art supply list, I'm really going to encourage you to try. This project does not require gesso, so don't worry about that. And if you are intimidated by gesso or you just don't even know what it is, it's basically like a primer is basically what it is. And if you don't want to invest in it, I'm going to suggest that you pick up, next time you're in Walmart or any kind of a store that sells these little 50-cent, 49-cent things of paint, pick yourself up one container of matte acrylic paint. Make sure that it's matte, not glossy, and make sure that it's matte. It doesn't matter the brand. This is what was at my Walmart or whatever, my craft store. And this will give you a nice try at what gesso can do. Gesso is a little bit different, but this is it's a good first start, and that way you don't, like I said, that's only about 50 cents, and then you can see if you like it or not. I'm going to use a little bit on the project just because that's my style, but you certainly don't have to. And because the real tip is, what are we going to do with these letter stickers? For heaven's sake. Look at this now. There's ones that are scripty and ones that are colorful, and to be honest, the color, you know what? Look at that right there. I didn't even mean to do that. Although I think any of these colors could work even though they don't match. It doesn't really matter that much for this tip. Big ones, small ones. I don't think I want to use the big ones because these patterns are just so big. And you know what I'm going to do on purpose? I think I'm actually going to use one that doesn't match that well, just so you can see, like this. Because you'd be apt to be like, oh no, use this because the letters go perfectly, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference. I'm actually going to pick this on purpose. because it's so not my style, so doesn't match this kind of paper. And this is probably most realistic to the things that you are used to in your lives, where you have something that you, and you know what? Let's talk about these later. These are actually rub-ons. See? I can't get it right now. Oh yeah. They're not even stickers, they're rub-ons. But the tip that I'm showing you can go with rub-ons too. Let me move these off to the side. Did you ever try to spell something with your letters to try to make it fit? Or, you know, how many of us have taken a letter R, where's like a letter R, and you cut the R part off to make another letter P because you missed the P? Well, here we go. We're gonna do something with this. I'm actually going to prepare this paper. You know what I do? I'm not just going to cut this strip off. I'm going to cut my paper just a little bit shy of 12 by 12. It is a 12 by 12 piece of paper, but I always go a little bit shy, just a little bit shy. And the reason why, it's just a preference. So I'm going to do it only on two sides. Just a little bit shy of 12 by 12, like 11 3/4. And I do that, look what I did, I cut that crooked, real nice. I do that only because, this will be a little bit shorter than that. I do that because when I load in a bunch of pages, if they're all 12 by 12 and I've got a ton of pages loaded in an album, then the pages, they kind of buckle when it gets too full. So if I just start out by making them a little bit less than 12, and I don't ever have that issue. Maybe you have another tip to prevent the buckling. Now this right here, I think, what if we can do, and I have not done this, so we'll see if this comes off like I want it to. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be so embarrassed if I can't get it. And I hope my head is not in the picture either. I'm going to have to do it this way. I'm going to start with a letter because I can't seem to get it up off the edge. And what I'm trying to do is get the whole, I sure can't get it. So we're just going to go like this. There. Okay, we'll start it. It doesn't matter that I ripped that. I'll just not use that part right there. I'm actually trying to use the outside, not the letters, on this project. This paper is so busy already. It does not need another pattern. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pull this up. Okay, now this is very old. Ooh, I see that's what the issue is, but that's okay because maybe this is your issue too. It's almost making me want to not make it perfect, because it's going to take me forever to get this up. So guess what I'm going to do? Because I'm impatient, I'm going to rip a bit. That's okay. We'll make it'll be like a rustic look there. That's what I was trying to get to anyway. I wonder what year this was. Made in USA. I can't even think. Does anybody else have this? This is by Francis Meyer. Of course, there's nothing wrong with it. It's probably not that old, but it has been sitting around. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. If you're lucky, you can get this up in one piece. Okay. I am not being quite so lucky. It doesn't change the tip though. It's just goodness. Okay. For the sake of time, you know what? Let's just do it here. No, not for the sake of time, because I want you to experience this with me. I want you to seriously see there are no camera tricks here, and that even when you're sitting at a crop trying to do this and thinking, this tip doesn't work. It does work. Just don't get bent out of shape if it's not perfect. See, I'll never be able to do that in one piece, so I'm just going to make it a couple pieces. There we go. And I don't want that to be perfect either. Okay, good. Now watch. We're going to actually look. Can you see? Now, I don't know. I didn't even look to see what side or what kind I want to use it. I don't want to use it on that side. I've already think I said that. Okay. Here we go. If I just put it right down like this, and too bad it's not like the whole paper, but that's fine if it's not. Now this side, I'm concerned because I want this to be straight. So I'm going to take my time to make that nice. And then I can push this down right here. Okay. Okay, good. Now I already know what you're thinking. I can already feel it, because if I was watching this video, I would be like, that doesn't look like anything, and you still haven't used the letters. Well, that's true. But wait till you see. Oops. And that doesn't want to stick, so guess what? I'm just going to rip that off. It really and truly doesn't matter. Okay. Good. That's nice. Now do this as much as you want. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I am more of a mixed media artist. I started out as a scrapbooker, but my art has evolved. And so now when I go back and try to do the same clean line scrapbooking that I used to do back in the day, everything is different because I do more mixed media stuff now. So in mixed media, you learn to kind of just let go a little bit and not make everything so perfect. And see how that doesn't want to stay. Oh, well, he doesn't have to stay. Maybe he doesn't want to be there. There. Okay, good. That's fine. Do you see what's starting to happen? I hope you see what's starting to happen. Now, again, as I'm pulling up, this is actually, I think I even remember getting this from a local scrapbook store that has been out of business for years, but I got this from there. And there we go. Now, okay. I'm excited for you to see how this will look at the end, because I could just, I wish I could hear through the video. Although I suppose if you leave me comments, I suppose I'll see them. Maybe I shouldn't look at them too soon, because I imagine it's going to be like, Erin, that looks a mess. Or I would never do that. Or what's the point? Well, some scrapbookers aren't into, you know how you see people doing stenciling and texture pasting and all this other stuff. And maybe you want to get that look, but you're just not into having all that stuff. Like gesso or like paint, for example. Which actually, speaking of that, I think I'm going to stop there because I think you get the idea. Okay, pulling up the back sheet. And you can do as much or as little as you want. I'm happy with the way that looks for now. Okay, now this is where this comes in. I am actually not going to use my gesso. I'm going to use this to just show you in case you do. This is a an non-stick surface. And I have a toilet paper roll. I don't think I would ordinarily use this. I think I might use a brayer instead for me personally, or a palette knife. If you're just starting out, use a toilet paper roll. It'll just be fine. Okay. This is that same white paint. And I'm going to just go a little bit over like this. Ooh. Now, I'm going to be honest here. Some of my purpose is for the look of the page. Some of the purpose is to put a matte coating. You see how the sticker sheet was kind of glossy? Well, if I try to put like an adhesive or a tape runner or something like that over top, it's not going to stick real good. And I could use like a sandpaper to sand it down, but this works well too. Plus it helps hold down the sticker sheet and kind of creates that grungy, distressy kind of boho chic kind of look that is trendy. If this look is not your style, and as a matter of fact, maybe you gravitate away from projects that look painted up or grungy or something like that, certainly you don't have to do that step. You could just leave the sticker sheet. This is a baby wipe. And I'm just cleaning up my surface. This matte paint dries really quick. And then this is just a rag that I have nearby. Okay, that's our base. And let's see what we're gonna do next. Let's think about our pictures. Okay, let's start to think about our photos and what we're gonna do next here. I also wanted to make mention, especially because we just used some paint, that if you're doing some kind of archival project, I mean, scrapbooking by nature is archival, but sometimes it's a little bit more artsy-fartsy than it is actually archival. But if you're using someone's, like, you know, original photos, original like heritage photos or something like that, maybe don't use paint. Stick with your acid-free, lignin-free paper. Also always back up your photos digitally. That's just, we have that option. We didn't, you know, when scrapbooking first started, we didn't much do that like we do now. So all right, so this is what I am thinking. This is a regular just 4x6 picture. I don't know that I'll use this picture on this page. I just want to show you as a demonstration. And I have a piece of regular cardstock cut to a mat. I don't know if I really want to do a horizontal picture or a vertical picture. I'm not really sure. But I have this cut to a 5x7 to fit my 4x6 picture. So, and I chose gray just because I did. And let's see, I think I want to do that. I think I want to do something here to this mat, so I'm going to do a little bit more paint, and then we can let this dry off to the side. What happened to my toilet paper roll? Okay, just a little bit to get that look going. Again, if you do not use paint in your projects, you do not have to. I think I'm just showing you that it's very easy. Once I started using paint and gesso in my projects, all my projects changed, and I started to get that look that I would see in other people's projects that I wanted to get for my own. I couldn't get it out of my head and onto the paper, but paint really changed that for me, and it was very, very, very inexpensive. So I'm going to set that off to the side and let that dry for a minute. These are the strips, remember, that we cut off of the edges, remember, because this was the Fields of Joy. So let's do this. I really like that a lot. I'm imagining this right here. Let's trim off just a corner. There's no measurements. I don't really do all that. And it's just a random corner, because what I'm seeing is I'm imagining this like this maybe, and this like this maybe. And you know what? Maybe I am imagining a vertical picture. That might look kind of good. I almost feel that it needs a darker matte though. You know what? I think it does. Let me get a, do I have a darker piece of cardstock? I feel that I need a dark piece under here. Hold on one second. Okay, don't you know I went looking for a piece of like dark cardstock, and out of all the cardstock I have, I couldn't find a piece of just basic dark cardstock. Just right that quick, and I'm kind of on a roll, and you know how you get when you get on a roll. This is dry, by the way, already. This white, all that white. But I did find this, and I thought it would be kind of good. So, and you know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm imagining? Is that I almost want this to be a square. And if we have a 12 by 12 square, what could be a square? This is 8.5 by 11, a regular piece of just craft cardstock. They had a huge sale at some point, and I went crazy and bought all this cardstock. Or it's a lightweight cardstock. Let me do an 8 by 8. That's what I'm thinking here. Let me do an 8 by 8. Okay. See? There, that's much better. That's much better. That's much better. See what's happening? That's much better. There. That's much better. Good. Okay, sweet. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. And I'm going to use my fingernail right here, because that's where I want to cut. And now when I pick it up, I can just hold it against the light, and I can see where to cut, and I don't need to make a mark. Here's where my fingernail was. And now this will be my page. See, that's real nice. Oops. Oops. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's real good. See? That's nice. And then we'll embellish over here. Let's, yeah, that's nice. Let's get this down. Okay, I'm going to use my my Advanced Tape Glider by Scotch. People call it an ATG gun. I do too. But I'm going to use this to adhere all this stuff down. Okay, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we've got this down. I did mount this down with my ATG gun, and as I did, I was like, you know what? I really just want one more of these right here, and I want it to be a little shorter. And so this is an afterthought, and I really love my ATG gun a lot. You can use whatever adhesive you like. There. Now, isn't that nice? That is nice. Look, aw, isn't that lovely? That's a great page. And that's a good start. Now, see the letter stickers? It's just a detail, like a detail, you know? And other than the ripping and the craziness we went through, it really didn't take that long. I was hoping if I could have pulled that off in one sheet, what I probably would have done is put it just on one side. See how this is like on one side? But I actually don't mind, because look, now I got a little bit over here too. That's fine. Yeah, that's pretty good. What could we do? What could we do? I bet you're thinking, oh, it needs something. It needs something. You might be thinking it needs something here or here. Well, you could put journaling here. That wouldn't be bad. Some kind of like a journaling block. I wonder if I have a piece of something. We could do like, no, that looks bad. We could do journaling right there. You could draw lines with a white pen right here and do a journaling. That wouldn't be bad. You could do journaling here off to the side. I actually like that idea, because we've got the horizontal lines going like this. So your eye moves like this, you know? And again, I mean, this is your focal point, but then because we want to kind of not confuse our eye. So I think I like this right here. For journaling. Now, how will we do this? I think I have a white pen. This is what is this? This is my Uniball, my Signo Uniball Pigment Pen. I really like this pen a lot. Okay, I'm going to start it on the paper that I'm using. And I'm going to practice too. Okay, because I'm imagining that it'll go like this. And I want it to just look, I don't want it to look perfect, but I don't want it to drag like that either. So let me get it warmed up a bit. Let's see. Oh, I don't like when it drags. The only reason it's doing that is because, I'm sorry about my head in the way. I'm so sorry. The only reason it drags like that is because it's old. I don't know if that looks good. Let's try. All right, this is it. This is the try. Let's make sure we're still going. Okay. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Okay. I realize if I don't push quite so hard and let the ball that's in the pen roll, then it does better. Sometimes we push too hard. But if you have some sort of a ball pen, let your hand ease up on the pressure and let the ball roll just a little bit. Yeah, this isn't bad. Oh man. I think I know what I'm going to do after this right here. I think I'm going to do this. I'm pulling towards me so that I get that little edge. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Oops. Ah. Okay. Yeah, that'll be fine. There. That sort of matches the look. Yeah, something like that. That's good. Yeah, that's real nice there. Now I could add paint around the edges, or I could do it just like this. I think I'll just do it just like this. Okay. There. Okay. Journaling. I also don't like when stuff floats on scrapbook pages. I don't like that. Like, see the difference? If I put that down there, yeah, you think it connects to the background, but that background, that's a back layer. We're pretending that's a painted back layer. So now we're trying to connect, I'd like to connect it with this frame so that it's not floating. Yeah, there, that's fine. That's fine right there. Now let's think about some embellishments. Okay, and you can use, and again, imagine your own picture there. I just put a picture there but imagine your own picture in that place. And just look at the page without the picture. Sometimes I think the picture distracts us. So just look at the page. We need something, just a little something, some dimension. How about something, you could use buttons. I have like bottle caps and stuff. I don't think that's going to fit on this page. I don't think I'm into that for today. Or you could take, this is another piece of the pattern paper from this same line. I can't know what it's called. I cut the strip off of it. I can't think of it. Anyhow, and you know what? Where's my, yeah, this. Here, just a punch. Or you can use your scissors and cut out around. Let me get this. And I have another punch. I have one that's 1 inch and then one that's, I don't know the size, but it's small, smaller than the 1 inch. So let me just punch a couple of these out. Maybe not flowers. I don't think I'm in a flower mood today. Okay, we'll just punch a couple of these out. That one didn't punch so good. And of course, I can't reach some of them. You reach some. There. Yeah, there. Now I can reach them better. I don't like that little lip right there, but I wanted that. So let me cut him off, and I'll use him as a half. Okay, that's good. And now let me use the smaller one to do a couple more. If you can't see, look at that. I cannot reach. Let me do a, I said I wasn't going to do flowers. I would like to be able to reach some of these other guys. Here. That circle for one. I always do it the other way so I could see what I'm punching. Always, 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 always. And don't worry if you don't get it a perfect circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7. I like odd numbers. And then I have, these are just dimensional foam dots. I don't know where I got these from at all, but I've had them for a while. And we are just going to, now if I was just looking at this, where would I need to decorate it? Here. This I have no plan. I'm just looking at it and seeing where do I want to decorate it. And here's that half one. Oops. And I need to take a little bit more care here while I'm doing this. The half one, let's put like this. No, like this. Look at that. See the line? The line of this right down to continue your eye, right like that. Okay. I just saw that I did that. I wasn't trying to do that, but it looks good that way. Okay. Oops. Oops. I think I want one up here. I think I want one right there. And then more up, one up top, a larger one. This one. I'm going to put this one up here because it's the same. There. And a few more. I feel like there's too many of the same design and I don't want it to, oh no, it's okay. It's okay. That's just fine how it goes. There. There. Isn't that nice? That is fine. We've got a space for journaling. You actually also have room for a title. You could put it in big letters. You could handwrite it. If you have like a sticker that has or a stamp, you know, you could stamp it on another piece of cardstock and then add it with a dimensional dot like that. But that's going to kind of have to be determined by whatever picture you choose. Isn't that a lovely page? That just took us just that quick. There's one more thing I was just thinking just now. Well, I was just thinking just now. You know what I want? I want a dark ink edge. Where is my excuse my head, I'm sorry. I want, oh, right in front of me, of course. I have a Stampin' Up pad, an ink pad. This is a water-based dye ink. I've learned not to use like an archival ink or a Stays On, but if you have a Stampin' Up pad or a distress pad or something and a baby wipe, you could do this just fine. I would like to just ink the edges of this page just slightly, and again, not something you have to do at all, just something that I feel like I want to do. If you're nervous, you could practice first on just a scrap of something. This is exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going like this with this, just right down the side, okay, of the page, and see how that'll look. So if you're nervous, practice on a scrap. Okay. And there, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. That's real nice. That is nice. Yep, 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 yep. Now, here is another reason why I'm happy we used that paint early on, because look, now it'll stick. Otherwise, it would just slide right off of that sticker sheet, because that sticker sheet is glossy. You can even, if you're feeling brave and you like the look, you can even just, I mean, you're already here, just add just a little bit more. It's already on your baby wipe. Okay. Don't go overboard. You can always add to, but it's really hard to take away. Okay, it's really hard to take away. There. That's, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Stop, Erin, stop. 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 Okay. And that's a really nice page, I think. There. Okay, so as promised, we're going to look at the other way, the other tip to using your letter sticker sheets. And remember, we had out one piece of the 12 by 12 pattern paper, but then I also got out a piece of white glossy paper. And I'm going to try to do this page with a little bit of a cleaner line than all that kind of distressy and stuff like that we did in the other one, just so you can get an idea. And I'm not just going to use this one sheet. I'm going to use a couple different ones. This one looks a little crazy because remember we pulled the thing off, the background. So I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to pick, and I'm going to pick these. They're similar styles, not colors. These are just way too different. And I'll do something else later with those. Okay. And I am just going to start by pulling off some of these and sticking them to my page. I am so sorry if my head keeps popping up in the way. I really, really am. I'm also not going to pay too much attention to what letters I'm using or how I am sticking them on the page. And I'm going to do this all the way through. I am though going to try to just use whatever I have. And they're really sticky. I'm going to stick some going off the page. I can trim that later. And just being a little bit, ooh, and like this one has a rip in it. I mean, I'm going to be somewhat mindful. Ooh, and not, I wished I would have used this years ago, and I really mean that because I think that I don't know that some of these products are meant to sit around for this kind of length of time. And that's part of why I wanted to do this series, Use What You Have. Because if you let it sit too long, sometimes it's just, there's no real expiration date on some things, but it's better to use it than to just let it go bad. And the better quality of things that there are when you purchase them in the first place, I think, then the longer they will last. Because these are Creative Memories letters, these, and they come up like the same as they did when I first got them. You know. So this is great to use all your, don't you know you always end up with random letters, X's and Y's and Z's and all kinds of just random letters. You know what this makes me think of too? It would be kind of neat if you were doing like a college page and for a graduation album or something like that, you could do your Greek letters. Okay, look at that, came up though, but I didn't push it down good. I am giving you the idea here, and you'll see this stretches your products a lot. Okay. Again, I specifically chose colors that did not go together, so we think that they don't go together. Sometimes you have to think a little bit outside the box. Oh, look what I did. Oh well. Oh well. That's okay. How many times did you pull up a W, turn it around, and use it as an M because you thought you ran out of letters, or just tried to make do with the letters you had because you were trying to spell, you know, a child's name or something specific? I feel like I keep using all the same sort of letters. Let me use a K every now and then. Okay. Now again, you see this, you might be like, Erin, that looks crazy. That's okay. That's okay. We'll just wait. We just wait. And I am not speeding up the process because then you can do it with me if you like. And maybe while I'm doing this and you're watching this, how many of you are, oh, see, I don't want to use any, oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. How many of you are like, I wonder if I do have those letter stickers. Now, did you notice that I'm kind of trying to stay on one side of my 12 by 12 paper? Oops, doggone it. Now, I didn't measure one side or anything, but I am trying to be conscious to sort of stay over here. I don't have to. You could certainly make a whole page like this and then use it in a bunch of different projects if you wanted to, but just for today, I'm trying to stay over here. Where do I need the green? Right there. I'm happy with that for now. And I think that shows you enough and you get the idea. You could certainly do more or less, any letters you choose, or whatever suits your fancy. I'm going to turn this over and cut this excess off, just like that. And then I'm going to, before I do anything else, I'm going to then trim the paper. I probably could have done that beforehand, but I didn't. Again, this is just a preference that I trim my paper to 11 3/4 by 11 3/4. Where's my 12 mark? Right there. And I always do that. Always, 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 always. It just makes, I tend to use top loading albums, but even if you use a Creative Memories album or, you know, any other kind of album, just, so it doesn't hurt anything. It actually makes your albums just lay just a bit more comfortably. Okay. Now, there's that. That's a nice base. Here's where another thing of gesso comes in. I'm not going to use it on this page because I want to show you what it's like without it. But if you have a clear gesso, this is a Dina Wakley Media clear gesso. This would be a great time to use a clear gesso. It just coats it, but because it's clear, then you won't see it, and it'll help keep these stickers down over time. I think, though, I had my eye on this paper. This is another from that pack, the Dare to Be Artsy pack. The same Fields of Joy, but this is orange plaid, and it's this on one side and these leaves on the other. That would be great. Wouldn't it be good right there? I'm just going to tear it. That's what I felt like doing, that. That's gonna look really nice, just right like that. I'm gonna put it right down. Oops, look at what I did right off the page. Oh, okay. I don't know what adhesive you choose to use for scrapbooking. Adhesive can be expensive, but I will say that if you try to go chintzy on adhesive, you do pay for it later. If you've been scrapbooking for a while, you probably agree. Okay, I'm gonna go right like that. You know, I have this little gap right here and I could put another letter in, but I think, well, maybe I'll go like this. Yeah, I'll just, it'll be fine. It doesn't even matter. There. That's nice. And we'll cut this off in the back. Okay, so we're on our way to making a really nice background. Ooh. I didn't know it was going to be so sticky. That's why I like that ATG gun, but oh my goodness. Okay, I had that too close to the edge there. Very, very nice. That's very nice. Okay. That is a great background. You know what I want to do now is this. I just now, because I had this navy. Oh, but do I want to do it navy? Well, I guess I do, only because I already have it out. Again, you can skip this step. I'm just thinking of this as I go, and you'll have to forgive me for sort of talking. Just, it might seem a little random. I just want, oh, I didn't mean to do it all like that. I just meant to do it because I was trying to keep it clean, like a nice clean line. There. Again, and you don't need to do this step. It's not. I just had it out from the last project, and there we go. Okay, good. There. There. It just makes it pop just a bit. Okay, good. That's nice. Now, I'm imagining, if we use that, if we think of that same concept of a frame and a frame, look how nice that looks with the letters. Look at that. I'm happy about that. I am happy about that. Let's bring out the green. Let me bring out the green. Let me see if I have what color is that? Is that this color? Yeah, it is kind of, isn't it? Excuse me. I'm going to do a similar format of a page. I'm going to do another 8x8 square. I just am thinking, let's just keep it simple because the real, oh no, I almost did it on the 6. Ooh, pay attention. Pay attention, Erin. Pay attention. Right there like that. That's good. Right there, look. See, we bring out the green. We bring out, it doesn't have to, it took me a long time to get to that point in my mind with color. The old me would never have put green in this page necessarily, and the old me would have tried to pull out a red or an orange or this peach, but right now I'm not even working with pictures, and that's, I think, what changed is I'm working with a mood. Sometimes I start with pictures, but I didn't feel like it today. And you know what else I'm thinking of? I'm imagining a piece of ribbon. Yes, yes, yes. A nice piece of ribbon. I am imagining a piece of ribbon, but what color? I just don't know. Let me pull this out here so you can see, and so I can see too. Ooh, that might be something. I have a way that what do I have back here? I have a way that I keep my ribbon. This is a strawberry container. And I was thinking this piece, but it just looks a little bright. Although I think it might be okay. For a kid page, I think I might go ahead. I don't know. Let me see what I have in the way of a brown. I know, from one extreme to the other, huh? That's boring. That's a boring one. Oh, I know. Maybe this. Oh, that's apparently too short there. That's a little bit better. I think this. This is from an Amazon package. I'll do a video on the strawberry containers another time. I use them for all kinds of things. Yeah, maybe that. And I don't really want it to, I do want it to go this way, but let's see here. Let's cut this at an angle. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. That's nice. That doesn't really look that straight. I'll have to make that nicer. Okay, let me put this down. Again, this is another way to just stretch our supplies. Now you can make this as, I'm trying to make kind of a simple page for the new people to see, fairly new to scrapbooking, or, and I'm eyeballing this. Right like that looks fine. Okay. And right like that will be fine too. You know what? You know what makes me think here? Right there. And this is the strip of paper that we cut from the other thing. Remember? We cut this there. Look at that. Could we use that? I think we could. Ooh, and then this one from the other thing. Oh, look. That's really nice. Let's cut them the same. Let's cut them the same. I'm also trying to use similar concepts in this video, you know, cutting the strips on an angle, using the strips, using an 8x8 block, just so that you can see the same technique in a couple different ways. Now maybe the next video I'll do something different. Also the inking on the side with a baby wipe, using them twice. I don't do that every single time on all my pages, but I just wanted to give you an idea. Okay. Also, here's the 8x8. Now, did you see this? This is the edge of the border of this paper. Now, when I put this ribbon down, I want to be mindful to leave this little strip right here, the same here, and I'm not measuring, but I am eyeballing. And now look, I don't want to mess that. I don't want to mess that up. You see, I just want to be mindful of the space. that I'm leaving, because sometimes it makes it not look right. You see? I'm just being mindful of the space that I'm creating. It's not really something you notice when it's lined up nice, but you do notice it if it's lined up funny. There. That's nice. Now, I don't know if this ATG gun is going to stick with this. I am going to get a piece of sandpaper and just go like this right here where, and I'm sorry if that noise drives you nuts, but to help adhere it better. I'm so sorry, my battery died actually, and so I had to plug in and recharge, but that's okay. As I had left, I was sanding this area right here with a piece of sandpaper. If you don't have sandpaper on hand, you could actually use a nail file or something like that. And the reason is because I just fear that this is not gonna stick well. I also fear that I have this upside down. And I put some ATG strips here on the back of this ribbon, and I am really hoping that this will work. I want it to go like right here. This ribbon, as I had mentioned, came from look what I did. Came from an Amazon package. So, I thought it was kind of cool, but this is not doing, and my apologies again for my head. There we go. You have to play with it a little bit. There. That's okay. That looks fine. Well, again, I'm not a fan of that. Right there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't like when it's intentionally that crooked, I almost want to do something with the bottom. Well, you're not going to believe this, but I don't like this at all. I put this ribbon down here and I do not like it. And I thought, I really, really don't like it. I'm not going to be happy with the page. You ever have that on a page? You're just, every time you look at it, you're going to be like, I hate the way that looks. So I thought, well, let's try something else. I brought back out these rub-ons that I said we were going to use later, and I found a piece of cardstock that's similar to the color. And I thought maybe what we can do is come up with a strip the same size, but use these rub-ons the same way we did this, and then just make a strip and do it in place. So when you're dealing with rub-ons, and again, these have to be old, but they've never been used. There's a sticky side. You peel off the clear back, and let me move this page out of the way. And I'm gonna do it just down one side. I don't know if they're all gonna come off all nice and neat. And they usually come with a little popsicle stick or something that you rub. I never found that worked too well. So I tend to use my bone folder and rub. And my apologies if you can hear. It's a beautiful day outside today and everybody is mowing their yard. So if you can hear the mowers from around the neighborhood, my apologies. And I actually, do you know what I was thinking? If this doesn't come out perfectly on here, that might look kind of good. So let's see. It'd be like a text stamp. Oh, that's not good what that happened. I didn't like that at all. Hopefully this'll work good. Work well is what I meant. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Ew. I don't know what happened there. So I did this with these rub-ons, and the letters themselves are sticky. still, and I thought, oh, I can't have that on a scrapbook page. They look pretty good though, don't they? But I thought to myself, maybe I'll just emboss them. So if they're sticky, I can take some. This is just a Gladware container, and I keep the embossing powder. This is clear. And then I had two others I didn't have containers for. This is from Stampin' Up. This is sky blue and just regular blue. And I thought maybe if we did like a little mixture of the colors, I have no idea how that will look, but we could make it look maybe a little random. Now, how am I going to get that off? I shouldn't have done that like that. I'm telling you, I kind of learn as I go. I will be a little bit smarter with this. This is the sky blue. Let's see. Oh, okay. And we'll take this like this. Maybe it's not as sticky down here. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Well, that's fine. Oh, maybe it's not as sticky as I thought. Either that or this powder's old. Is it the powder? I can't tell if it's the powder or the letters. Oh, look. It's the powder. The powder's old. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, well, let me get this. I'm sorry for my head being in the way. I really am sorry about that. I'm not, you know. Oh, and there's something in there. I'll get that out in a little bit. Let me try this other powder. Maybe this will work too. Oh, I like that. Oh, see? See how that sticks a little bit better? Mm-hmm. That's okay too. Okay, cool. Really neat. Let me put some right in the middle. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to heat emboss that with a heat gun. Okay. I'm careful to close up all my powders before I turn on the heat gun. I learned that the hard way. Thankfully not on this video. Just a second. Okay, now I feel like we're back in action. My intent was never to go and do all this embossing and stuff, but I didn't know the letters were going to be sticky. And I'm certainly not saying that every rub-on is going to have sticky letters. I wonder if those were meant to be sticky because they were meant to be embossing, but I didn't know that. So this ribbon looks like it's about 1.5 inches across. And about 9.5 inches long. Okay, so 1.5 inches across. Oops. So let's cut this to about 1.5 inches. We can use that for something else because that came out so nice. And then 9.5. I know I'm gonna like this better anyway. 9.5 is about right here. Okay. I should have done this from the beginning. Ribbon would be fine, but I wasn't happy with this ribbon. Look at it. Thankfully, it comes right up. Oh, no. As I say that, you know why I did that? Because I sanded it, remember? Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. Let's try this again. I think we're all going to like this a little bit better on this page. Sometimes scrapbooking takes you a direction you did not mean to go, so that's okay. I'm glad you could be with me on this little, on this little journey here today. Okay, now I'm still going to be mindful of this and this. Oh yeah, look at that. I like that better anyway. Wow, that looks so good. That looks so good. Plus we're using the letters. That was the whole point in the first place. Now with this, see, I could do, now I could do another little photo mat here underneath this. I don't have one ready, a 5x7 one. I don't have one ready, but I could certainly put a mat here and mount photo. Or you know what? I could do 2 4x6 photos like this. Look at that. That would be nice. Again, these aren't the pictures that I would use on this page necessarily. I just have pictures nearby. That's nice. Ah, look how nice that is. And we used up these letters, and we used up these rub-ons. And now we can embellish the sides if we want. That is lovely. That is lovely. That's great. Started with just a few things, a few old sheets of letter stickers that we already have, and we ended up with some beautiful projects and not too long of a time. Here's what we made today. I went ahead and finished off. I found a chipboard title that I thought would be great here, and then I added this is a sticker that says other things may change us, but we start and end with family. And don't you know, remember this piece was my scrap piece that I tried. I thought, well, that would make a cute little border, just that one little bit. So I stuck it right on there, cut it out. And here's some other circle shapes that I did and mounted them with dimensional foam, just like I did in the first one. And we have some really nice pages. We really didn't need to purchase anything, except I really encourage you to give the matte acrylic paint a try. If you like using it, then you can maybe someday graduate up to purchasing gesso. This is not necessarily the way you use gesso, just on top, but it's one of the ways that you can use it, and there's so many possibilities. So spend 50 cents or under $1 and pick up one of these and save your toilet paper rolls, and just get used to doing some new and different things with the things you already have. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this will help you bring new life into some of the supplies that you already have. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to Sandpaper Road on YouTube, and follow Sandpaper Road on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, and visit Sandpaper Road on Etsy to purchase items or to request custom orders. And thanks for watching, and happy crafting. And we'll see you next time. Bye.